Hi folks, we're here in round 1 of this Pauper League. And we're on the draw with a 1-lander, but we have 3 plays we can make. Actually 4 if you count the bolt, so I think we'll keep it. And we'll hope for the best here. Evolving Wilds. So we'll lead on the cohort which just deals the most damage for us. We'll see how that pans out. Hopefully we find a land. Pardon me, if we do, we might be in good shape. Okay, what was that? Destroy. We did find a land. So, it could be blue-black. That's what it's looking like. I think I want to play out 2 guys. This could be incorrect, but it feels somewhat optimal here. Not expecting him to have early creatures for this. And then our mana is going to be tied up to the point that we don't want to lead on the War Marshal. The Sledders will allow us to now perhaps sack one for value. Okay, so he is blue. Curse of the Bloody Tome. Sure. So we're kind of in a race here. And we have a land, so maybe I should just get a matron, or get a bushwhacker with my goblin matron. Hope to draw a land off of that. Could also War Marshal. No, I think just getting the bushwhacker as soon as we can is going to be the most beneficial. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, we just want to maximize as much damage as we can possibly do here. So if I draw land, the War Marshal into Bushwhacker is going to be great. Though he is holding up, I guess, counter magic here. There goes 2 lands. We do find a Sledder. We don't have a lot of time to just fool around. Maybe I will bait with something. I mean, we can afford to slow grind him here, which means maybe we want to attack first. I guess baiting with the Sledder could be our opening play. And if he counters that, I'm a little more tempted to go with something else. So I think I'll just attack, and then I'm going to play a Sparksmith. It's a lesser threat, but it uses our mana quite well. And it takes a resource away from him. So it does resolve. And we don't have to pull the trigger on this Bushwhacker. His clock is very slow in comparison to our board position. Now, he may be getting up to Evankar's Justice. We'll see about that. And I'll just say cancel. Okay, so here we can bait with the Mogg War Marshal. And if he counters it, we get a free Bushwhacker, which is a lot of damage. Okay, he does not counter it. And if we go for the Bushwhacker, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. It's a lethal. It's a kill. I don't see any reason he wouldn't have a counter spell. But if we draw, depending on our draw next turn, we could draw a matron or a heel cutter. We might not want to. So he has a rewind. I was expecting him to maybe have a mystical teaching, so that's why I went for it. But we still have a great board position. I'm not going to sack the War Marshal. There is a chance that we get hit with Evankar's Justice here. Okay, he's going to ponder. So is he a dedicated... I mean, he's obviously a control deck with Curse as his win con. Yeah, I think he's in a bit of a bind. He doesn't shuffle, though. So we could be looking at Justice. So we're going to need to make 3 3s. We're going to lose probably all of these tokens to save one of you. Then we could save the Sparksmith, perhaps. Alright, so I think I'm going to sack the War Marshal token. I could just pay the mana. Ooh, what's going on here? He does have Justice. Okay. I think he was trying to get me to F6. So we're going to lose these tokens. Basically, how many 3 3s can I make? I have 4 bodies here. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3 bodies here. A 4th. So that saves 2 guys. I can save the Spark. Yeah, this is going to be pretty bad for us. Maybe I just let the War Marshal die and keep the token. I'm going to save the Sparksmith, the Sledder, and I'm going to sack the Goblin. I don't want to spend my mana in case I draw something I can use. Okay. Got to click carefully, not screw things up. So we also want to save the Sparksmith. So I'll sack the second Sledder, gets us out of echoing. And then I guess not really anything we can do about saving these guys. So yeah, we're going to need to draw another Matron here to do anything. A little bit of lag, so we got to be very careful. Alright, that's about it. Ooh, and we would have drawn a Matron. So now we just have burn spells, but that also is potentially good enough here. We've got 5 points of burn in hand. Oh! Pristine Talisman. So we're going to want to... Okay, so now he's at 9. I think I want to fire off at least one of these, which would drop him to 6. Yeah, we're going to fire off one. Hopefully it works. 6, 5, 4. Oh, and I think we might have a win here if he does not have a counter spell. Could have a removal spell, but that's not going to be good enough because we also have the Tarfire. Beautiful. Alright. So getting game 1 is very good for us. He's a blue-black control deck with Evan Carr's Justice as a win con along with Pristine Talisman. We may want to bring in Smash to Smithereens. I think he's creatureless, so I think we can take out some of our creature kill. So some of the cards I might want to take out: Flame Slashes, maybe Sparksmith, even though it's a threat, maybe Tarfire, maybe Bolts. Leaving us with a core of 30 creature threats, a Death Spark to punish him a little bit for counter magic and creature removal. I think we want all the Pyroblasts. Take his win cons out. Smash to Smithereens seems pretty good. I think I like Goblin Matron here because we're going to attrition him out. Or, well, we're not going to attrition him out, but we are fighting a war of attrition, so we need more value hanging around. It's possible we want a second Death Spark, but I don't really think we do. He is milling us. We don't want to cut our creatures too much. So maybe we bring back in we leave the bolts in because they can deal damage. And then we play a Sparksmith just to have 32 threats. Seems reasonable. Flaring Pain, I don't think he's going to have a damage prevention. Okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. Let's try it out. I mean, do we want the Tarfire instead? Probably not. Though that could make us more of a burn deck, but it's just a shock. So I'm going to say no. We're going to be on the draw again. So, he's playing first, and we have a keepable hand, so not bad of a start. Here comes his Ponder. He's probably killing this right away. I think we're still going. Okay, yeah, we're definitely going for Mogg War Marshal now because it's going to resolve. Looks like he's got another Ponder. So he's shuffling away some of this stuff. Oh, he's got Preordain in his deck as well. So he's definitely behind on the board. He did top both. I could just go Cohort Denizen. I think I like that more. It's just more damage. Yeah, this could get really ugly. If he taps out for something, the War Marshal can deal a lot of damage to him. It's going to trigger both Denizens twice. So if he just taps out for Curse or something... Oh, looks like another Ponder coming down. So this could be great. If he doesn't have an untapped blue, we can just slam this Mogg War Marshal, and we're dealing about 8 damage. Now, he is going to sweep us next turn. But we'll have a token... Oh! Bushwhacker. What does Bushwhacker do? So these both trigger once. It's 3, 6, 9. It's 11 damage. I think we want to go for it here. He's representing a removal spell. But getting the Bushwhacker to resolve seems good. I guess the War Marshal is a little better against Justice. We're only losing out on, I think, 3 points of damage. So we would deal 8 instead. We'd have a guy left over for Bushwhacker next turn. So we do 8, he's at 9, and then we Bushwhacker for 4. Do I want a Bushwhacker here? Evankar's Justice completely wipes our board. I mean, there's nothing we can do to really mitigate Justice that much. But we miss out on 3 points of damage. But we get the 3 points of damage after if he taps out for Justice. So I think maybe we do play War Marshal. He's representing a spot removal spell anyway. Okay. Try and speed this up. It's funnily enough, I play even slower with an aggro deck, but keep in mind I haven't played this deck in ages. So he didn't have their spot removal spell. It looks like he's about to have the Evankar's Justice for us. He has a Disfigure post... Yeah, so he's definitely got the Justice. Going to 9. So we're going to follow up with our own War Marshal. He's at 7. So we can almost kill here. Yeah, I think we just play War Marshal. If we draw an untapped land, we can counter his counter, drop him to 1, and we have Bolt. And he's nowhere close to enacting a win condition against us and getting it to work. Oh, never mind. He's got a Gurmag Angler here. Okay, so I'm really hoping for another... Okay, this is good. This frees up our mana a bit. He is representing Counterspell. So normally I would just tap out for the War Marshal, but I think we want to leave up the option of having Pyroblast. That does resolve. Wretched Banquet. Okay. So that's a sorcery. Good to know. Should we just throw a bolt at his face? I think I want to. He's attacking me. That's interesting. Another Wretched Banquet. So he's going to be... Okay. He's still representing that counterspell. So this is interesting. He's got one card left. Still think I'm going to let him have the Preordain. Maybe I should have bolted him in response. Bottom, top. Okay. So I'm going to go for a bolt to the face, which resolves. So now I'm going to attack him down to 3. And I am going to play Mogg War Marshal to try and bait out his counterspell. And next turn, if I do draw the mountain, I can Bushwhacker with Pyroblast. Impulse. Okay. We can also just untap and draw a Lightning Bolt, and that could be a win. Interesting that he's deciding to just clock us here. Okay. So I have a chance to drop him to 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he could have Chainer's Edict, Flashback, but then we can Bushwhacker for the win. He's playing very loose with his life total, and I don't think it's going to pay off. So I'll Pyroblast a counter here. He's one card left. Okay, so now our board position is lethal. Well, not quite. I mean, if the Bushwhacker resolves, it is. If he attacks, we know something's going on. Definitely not blocking. Okay, and no matter what he has, we can counter back. So it looks like we're going to take the first round, or our first match, or whatever. And it wouldn't have even mattered. We wouldn't need to counter it. We'd still have the attack, and so we win the match. 2-0. Was kind of hard fought. I mean, he had a lot of control elements, but we were able to bash past those. So thank you guys very much for watching. We're jumping right into a second match here. We're definitely going to keep We're on the play. Or sorry, on the draw. Our opponent's mulligan to 6 and has bottomed the card that was on the top of his library. So it looks like this might be Kuldotha Kitty. Is that what it's called? Jeskai Kitty? I can't remember what the deck's called. Kuldotha Jeskai? I think that's what it's called. I don't know that that's a good matchup. It doesn't feel like it would be. But maybe if he stumbles enough, I mean, he did mulligan to 6. So he could flood out a little bit. think our follow-up is Mog War Marshal here. It's either that or Sparksmith, which wouldn't be terrible. So assuming we do find a mountain on our next draw, do we want to play the War Marshal? Does that help us? What does War Marshal help us with? You know, they're a very removal heavy deck. So it does just soak up removal. It does more damage. So I think we'll try this out. We have 2 removal spells for a creature, so I'm not incredibly concerned about that. So he could just bolt our guy or Galv Blast it here. Looks like maybe he will. Highly likely that he has one of those cards. He's already gained 2 life off of his lands. Okay, so he's probably going to go something like Artifact into Glint Hawk. Oh, he's just going to cast Core Skyfisher right now. So we're probably in our best interest. Ooh, this is kind of interesting. I could Death Spark him right here. And then Lightning Bolt this. Or I could play Sparksmith. I might also have a land on the top, so I'm not going to do anything Death Spark wise. Okay, so I guess I'm just playing Sparksmith, trying to hopefully grind out for the long run, but I think he's just going to kill that. Yeah, this does not seem like a good matchup. Red. Whoa! No way! We just got swept. That sucks. How about a land? Flame Slash. I mean, I don't want to start just not having a board position. So I think I'm going to play another Sparksmith. Okay, so he's kind of racing. We know he's got a Swiftwater Cliffs in hand. Oh no! Kuldotha Rebirth. So I think we want to ping one of those now. I guess Death Spark is kind of what we're looking for. Which means we can't use the Lightning Bolt. So what I can do actually is I can Flame Slash this. I can block one token, ping the other one, then Death Spark the third. Then Death Spark stays in my graveyard. Is there any reason we want to save this Flame Slash? I don't think so. I think we have to do that, then I think we have to try and rebuild our board. Yeah, I actually don't hate this. Now, one thing that might suck is he could Journey to Nowhere our guy. Which it looks okay, that's fine. Okay. So it looks like Mole Drifter's in our future. Are we going to take 4 damage here? Okay. So I'm going to Death Spark first. I'm going to take 3 damage. And I I'm not going to pay. Don't find a land. So I think I'm not going to bushwhack yet. It just doesn't do anything for us. Doesn't do enough damage. He's at 23. Yeah, here comes Mole Drifter. Glint Hawk. Okay. We're going to bolt that. And now we're just going to start rallying the peasants, and hopefully finding another mountain will help out. We want to get a really serious board position. Hopefully he doesn't have any more of these. That was ridiculous. We're very lucky he does not yet have a Mole Drifter. So that would annoy the hell out of us. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to pay. So we're going to attack first. I could matron for another matron. I don't hate that. Goblin Heel Cutter's not bad. I think I'm actually going to get a Mog War Marshal. So I'm not going to pay for Death Spark. I'm going to matron for Bushwhacker. That's pretty good too. And then next turn, hopefully I draw a land, untapped land, so I can War Marshal. Okay, he just concedes. I guess he's flooded out. So we're kind of lucky that we win. Yeah. I mean, he's going to have a lot of removal. We're going to want the fourth matron again. I think Denizen is just really weak on the draw against a deck with Cold Dotha Rebirth. So that gives us matron. Sparksmith's also a liability. Pyroblast seems good. He's going to bring in Hydroblast. He's going to have Mole Drifter. Maybe not the full 3. You would think, okay, oh, his deck has artifacts. We should bring in Smash to Smithereens. But that's not really the case. If we smash an Ichor Wellspring, it draws him a card. If we smash a Prophetic Prism, it doesn't really do anything. Don't know if we want the Death Spark. Seems useful against tokens. This is a liability, but it might be worth the risk. Like Trickery, we have another Flame Slash. I think Core Skyfisher is a huge problem for our deck. So I think I would favor that over anything else. Yeah, I mean, dropping our creature count is not the best. But, again, I mean, this trades with everything in his deck, so... Also makes us just kind of more vulnerable against his little Earthquake effect. Yeah, I want to keep this hand. Gets around his Electrickery effect, and yeah, just has a lot of quick threats, even though it's only a 1-lander. Now it's a 2-lander, so I think it's even better. Now if we draw a 3rd land, we're really in the money. Playing Radiant Fountain in his deck. Okay. So I still think we want to play out the 2 Isamarus here. This is one of our faster draws that we can have, but it's not like a nut draw because our deck has so much redundancy. It's highly likely that we will hit draws like this throughout the game. So we can Sledder and Bolt that if he just replays it. I think he played his land there, so yeah. Sledder and Bolt. We can also Heel Cutter through it. Sledder and Bolt seems a little better. Then we can Heel Cutter through his next guy. Heel Cutter deals 9. Drops him to 13. Then if we draw another land, we can do both. Or we can Matron here. That doesn't seem as good. It's either Heel Cutter or Sledder Bolt. I think it's Sledder Bolt. Sledder Bolt adds to our board, and it removes his guy rather than just faltering. Plus the haste could come in handy in a moment. I would have thought this would be a bad matchup, but it's going okay so far. Now, if he has a Kuldotha Rebirth, it's not even the end of the world for us there. So we're going to let him journey whatever he wants. He plays Core Skyfisher in his deck. So if we sack the guy, he can just get his journey back with Core Skyfisher basically for free. And that lets him 2-for-1 us. So we definitely let that happen. He's going to play out some more removal. Oh, there's a Core Skyfisher. So I think we want to Heel Cutter. We could Matron. We have a land. So if I Heel Cutter, he takes 9 and goes to 6. That's pretty good. And next turn he needs a removal spell and a creature. He can't just play Mole Drifter and hope to get out of it. So I think that's what we want to do. Matron's not a bad play at all, but I think we want to dash in. I'm double checking this to make sure this is going to work. I thought it was when he enters play, but this will be perfect. Can't block. Absolutely awesome. This puts him on 1 turn here. And then Heel Cutter returns to our hand. Oh, he gains 2. But even if he just plays Mole Drifter, he's going to lose. Wellspring. So he needs a guy and a removal spell. Ooh, Lone Missionary's decent. So it goes up to 12. So now I think I'm actually going to Matron for a Bushwhacker. And I have a Goblin Sledder. He's at 12. I can just hit for 7 here. No, I think we want this. No attacks. And we'll just pass. But we'll have a really strong attack coming up. I mean, he might have a good board. If we draw a mountain, I think there's pretty much no way we don't win that turn on the spot. But if we draw any of our other creatures, Bushwhacker's pretty sweet. Okay, he might have the Sweeper here, but we don't lose anything. We lose the Matron only. Okay, what is this? Perilous Research. Spreading seeds on his own thing. Okay. Interesting choice there. I guess it's just another card he can cycle with his Skyfishers. Still not amazing, though. Okay, so we're going to sack the Matron here. And that does basically nothing. Okay, maybe he has Hydroblast. We have a Lightning Bolt. So I can Bolt his Skyfisher and Heel Cutter through. And that drops him to 2 life. The only thing he can have here is Hydroblast. I think I attack even if the Heel Cutter gets countered. He takes 5, loses his guy. We still have 3 guys on the board. But I think we definitely force the issue. Is he going to GG? Oh, GG's. He's not actually dead there. He would have dropped to 2. But I guess he felt it was insurmountable, the advantage we had. All right, that's 2 in the bag. We're 2-0 right now. And thank you guys very much. Round 3 has begun. We are again on the draw. Can't seem to get on the play, but yeah, we got enough here to keep it. Another 1-lander that we are keeping. And looks like we might be playing against Affinity. I guess I'll play the Denizen. In case I draw a land, I can deal more damage on turn 2. So that would be the reason. E, F, G. Yeah, it looks like Affinity. We did not draw a land. So I guess we'll just go with this. And get in there. Gonna want to draw a land soon. I mean, he could be color screwed. He could have a bunch of Forgers in hand, but I think that's probably not the case. There's a Frogmite and a Thoughtcast. So I think we may just have to suicide. Oh. Well, if I just cast Cohort and Flame Slash, I'm getting in for 4 damage. And he missed a land drop. So I think that's actually the play. He missed a land drop, so it's going to make our Bushwhacker and War Marshals better. He doesn't have all his colors yet, so he's probably found a land by now. If not, then, I mean, this game, we might run away with this game. Is he just going to Galv Blast something here? Springleaf Drum, but no creature yet. Oh. Okay. So he's tapped out here. Oh, yeah. So let's try and facilitate a kill. If I Bushwhack, it's 3, 6, 9. 11 drops him to 3. Where War Marshal makes him take 3, 7, dropping him to 7. I have additional bodies on the ground. And I mean, he's got a lot of creatures here. So if I drop him to 3, is that good enough? He's going to have, next turn he's going to have Enforcer, Carapace Forger, and maybe another Enforcer or something like that. So is dropping him to 3 better than having the superior board position? Maybe. 3, 6, 9. Yeah, I think it's better. I want to drop him down to 3 right now. Also gives him less time to assemble a Tog Fling, right? 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Yeah, he's a little ways off from doing that. Okay, he's at 3. We might be able to finish him off with Raider. We might just be able to finish him off with War Marshal or something. So I want to be as aggressive as possible here. Really taking advantage of his missed land drop and his early color screw. So even though it's only turn 5, he has no board position. He's taken 17 damage. So I think we can get around this. Looks like a Perilous Research. Okay, so he's going to draw 3 cards here. I think he should have sacked the Wellspring. The star can still get him a color of mana, where the Wellspring doesn't really do anything here. So that seemed like a mistake, and potentially a game-losing mistake, but he was in a pretty poor position there. So we didn't see a whole lot, but I can tell you that I don't think Death Spark's going to do anything against his deck. I don't think Tarfire is very good either. Bolts fall short of a lot of his creature threats. I think we want the Sparksmith, the 2 smashes, the Flame Slash. Potentially maybe want the Matron. Yeah, it's probably better than just a random Lightning Bolt. And what else? Pyroblast. I guess he's going to have Hydroblasts and stuff. And it doesn't do a lot. I think a Bolt is more useful than a random Pyroblast. Yeah, I think that's a ton of removal. We're still the beat down here. Yeah, let's submit this and see how it goes. Happy to get a quick victory there. Part of the appeal of playing this deck today is that hopefully some of the matches will go faster. So probably one too many lands in this hand, but we're still going to keep because there's a lot of potential upside here. He keeps on 7 as well. Okay, so we're definitely going to start with Denizen. It might get countered, but we have the potential to deal 3 next turn as opposed to just 2. Okay. So if he wants to sack a land to kill this Denizen, he can. So I think I'm going to give him the... I can also just Flame Slash it. Might be better just to Flame Slash it. He could have like a Springleaf Drum. And there's a pretty good chance he's just going to take the 3. Would we trade our Denizen for a land? Yeah, I think we might. Yeah, I think I want to do this. I think I want the board position. And I think we'll get the 3 damage anyway. Yep, cool. And we still have the Flame Slash. He's probably got a Springleaf Drum. His Atog can become a 7/8 currently. There's a Thought Cast. Looks like he's got a Galv Blast. There's the Drum. So now we may go for the Flame Slash. I have 2. So I think we'll definitely go for it. We're not going to give him any information right now. So this will suck for him if he sacks a land and a drum or 2 lands. I think he's just going to Galv Blast a guy. I think I hit F2 already. I guess not. Alright, so he's pretty far behind at this stage. Going to 11. Now we do need to hit a creature, but we have the Flame Slash, so that'll get his Mirror Enforcer here. best draw is probably Bushwhacker. Okay, so he's got Carapace Forger. He's probably got Carapace Forger, Enforcer, something like that. Another Atog, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Okay. So we have a Flame Slash. Do I have a Goblin? Let's go. Oh, is that a kill? That is just about a kill. Or we have to take out the Forger. Then he's got a block. He takes 3, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, he's dead. Unless he has Galv Blast. But even if he doesn't, or even if he does, I don't think it's... He could have Hydro Blast here as well. But this looks pretty bad for him. 3, 6, 8, 10. And if I just sack the blocked creature, that's 11. So, does he have a Hydro Blast, or he has a Galv Blast, it looks like. So, we can't kill him here. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So should I go for it? What is he going to block this now? Then he has to sack 2 artifacts. So he takes 8. Yeah, this is still pretty good for us. I don't think we die to a counterattack. Because he's got to sack an artifact. He has 4 artifacts at that point. Three, 5, 7, 9. He needs another artifact. And the Fling. I think we're not going to play around that much. So let's just attack. And if he blocks the Cohort, he's got to sack 2 things to live. So he's going to take 9 damage. 3, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, I'll just play this. I probably shouldn't, but if he's got it, he's got it. Oh, he can't kill with just 1 artifact. Ooh, Electrickery. He also can't attack here. Okay. So he's dead to a Bolt, a Bushwhacker, and we just have a Mountain. Okay, so this is really interesting. So Matron's a win as well. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Yeah, actually he can kill here. Smash to Smithereens is now a win. Cool. Ugh. Okay. We're still okay. Matron is still a win. 3, 5, 7, 9, 13, 11, 13. I think maybe he cut Fling, but I don't know for sure. So now Matron is not even a win. If he only sends 1 guy, then Matron is a win, which would prompt me not to block. If he sends both, okay. So he doesn't have Fling, so I don't need to block here. Matron is no longer a win. We basically need Bolt or Smash to Smithereens. If I draw Matron, I think I have to get a Mog War Marshal now. Uh-oh. We just disconnected. Is my connection good? I think so. It's a random crash here. Our restart seemed to be rather expedient, so this should be okay. Check the recording. Recording seems good. And what's going on? So, where are we here? He's just attacking for 4. I'll take it. I don't think we have Tarfire in the deck anymore. I'm pretty sure I took it out. Sparksmith, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So we're dead to double attack, but I just have to block. So last card could be Perilous Research here. We have to double block. I think. Yeah, now we definitely have to. And so we have to hope to draw a bolt or a smash off the top. We were very close this game. That Electrickery was really good for him. And we draw a few too many lands. We drew a few too many lands. Usually what happens, you draw 5 or more lands, you usually lose. Okay, so just block the 2 big guys. Forces him to sack some stuff. But, oh well. Go to 10. Yep, just hope the top of our deck is good enough. Even a Matron keeps us alive. So we can go Matron, Matron, Mog, War Marshal. Okay, so he's actually letting one of his Atogs die, which was a mistake because we have a blocker here. He also just dies if we have a guy, so what the hell? Oh, maybe he has the Fling. That would make more sense. Where he has Electrickery or something, but he would have used it. He should have sacked the start. He must have Fling. Because this just seems wrong. Otherwise. Maybe he just messed up. I don't know. Yeah, he's got the Fling. Well, he might mess up the Fling. But I think he's got this one. So we'll go to game 3 here. And I'm not sure there's really anything we want to reassess. Biggest Fling ever? No, only 17. That's not biggest. Okay, we were pretty close. Got him down to 2. We had some top decks that could have helped us. Don't think we want the Tarfire. The Pyroblast didn't seem like it would have done anything. Yeah, 4 Sparksmith, 4 Flame Slash, 2 Smash, and a Bolt is kind of what we're looking for. Yeah, I think we just submit like this. I think this is probably our ideal configuration. Definitely we'll play first. And a 1-lander with only 2 things we can do with it does not seem ideal. Without a mountain, we're looking pretty bad, so I think I have to mulligan. And this hand we can keep. It doesn't have a turn 1 play, but it's got a lot of other things that we're kind of into here. War Marshal into Matron, so I will keep. And let's see if he mulligans. I definitely want that. More Bushwhackers the better. And a rare instance with no turn 1 threat on our part. That's very rare, but still not a huge deal. Okay, this might be bad for us because he might have a Hydroblast here. Still going to go for it. He did mulligan. We have matrons to back it up. Okay. Did not have the Hydroblast. Awesome. So next turn I'm going to let this die. I'm going to play a matron. Hopefully get it in for a point. I don't know what I get with the matron. Not a bushwhacker. Maybe a sparksmith. Ooh. Maybe I just get a sledder to mitigate an electricity. That seems... And then I can also just play it along with the bushwhacker. That seems pretty good. Yeah, that seems ideal. So let's see if he Galv Blasts something. Does not. Yeah, so I think I will just get a sledder. We have 2 bushwhackers already. It depends if I draw a land. I may also just get another War Marshal. I drew a sledder. So maybe I just play sledder and play bushwhacker. And that's 8 damage. Then I can matron for something else. Yeah, that seems good. I want to get my board position very, very aggressive. And then this also helps against electricity. It's not perfect against it, but it helps. Oh, it looks like he has a Hydroblast. Nope, he has a Galvanic Blast. Alright. So I'll just sack to give something else +1/+1. And now we attack for 6. Hopefully he doesn't have access to red. So now I'm going to get another sledder. And that should do pretty well for us. It just depends what his colors are looking like. So he could have a Carapace Forger here. Maybe Thoughtcast. Frogmite. 2 of them. And a Forger. That's going to be rough. I think I have to get a Sparksmith now. I could also just suicide with Cohort Bushwhacker, which only gets in for 2 and I lose 3 guys off of that. No, I think I want... Do I want a War Marshal? I'm just going around. I'm just going wide, so to speak. Yeah, I think that's what we need. Or do I want a Sledder, or do I want a Sparksmith? Sparksmith is going to take a long time. It's going to deal a lot of damage to us. War Marshal gets us 2 more bodies. Next turn I'm playing that and the Cohort. So I'll have 4, 5, 6, 7 bodies. Cast the Bushwhacker, that's 8. So it's 5 that goes unblocked. Yeah, I think we're taking that route, and we're just hoping he doesn't find a color fixer. So I'll get a War Marshal. Sparksmith, I think, is going to be too slow here. No attacks. I'm not sure if he knows about the Bushwhacker. I don't think he does. Yeah, because we're just now playing the Matron. Oh, he found a red source. And a Thoughtcast. This could be very bad. Oh, he tapped his red source, though. He's got a ton of board presence. Okay, gonna attack for 4. So I think I'm taking that. Yeah, definitely taking that. And I drew a Flame Slash. So I could go Flame Slash, Mog War Marshal. And then next turn I can go Cohort Bushwhacker. I could also go Cohort Mog War Marshal this turn. But I don't think I want to do that. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, plus 3 is 17. Yeah. think we're doing Flame Slash Mog War Marshal. And we're praying there's no Electrickery in our future. His last card is either a Tog, Galvanic Blast, or Fling. Or it could be Hydroblast. We're not paying the Echo costs. He could still have Electrickery, but I think if he had it, he would have used it and attacked us. I don't think he would have waited. I like having Mog Raider to defend against Electrickery. He's got 4, 8, 10, 12, and if he has Blast, he only needs to get in for 12, but he's going to have to block here. Mog Raider, does that win? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. No, it doesn't win. This thing's kind of useless. Maybe I will play the Raider. Because it's just a 3-2 that dies to his 4-4. I'm just going to attack all the way. He has to block somewhere. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah. So that puts him in a very awkward position. He doesn't have Electrickery. He would have used it before the Mog Raider. So now he's got to lose some guys. He's going to take like 6 damage, 8 damage. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll sack the guys that are getting blocked by the Forgers. That'll make him take 3, 6, 8, 10, drop him to 3. And then he's got 8 power, but that's it. Okay, this is good for us. And he goes to 3, I think. Alright. Still not the best, but this attack alone can drop him to 1. I don't know what his... I think his last card's a blank. Oh, it's not a blank. Okay, so this attack will not drop him to 1. Or, yeah, it'll drop him to 2, but we don't want to do that. We did draw Foundry Street Denizen. So if I attack now, he goes to 2, but we lose 3 guys. I think we just have to Brave and hope he doesn't draw Electrickery here, so we'll just pass. I think we have a win next turn if we draw a guy. Ugh, it's kind of gross. Top 2 cards, did he find anything? We have a lot of outs. We have a guy, we have a removal spell, we have Smash to Smithereens, we have Bolt. Oh, now he has an Atog. Okay. Well, it's a guy and it's going to be good enough because it's a Sledder. So unless it's a Doomblade or something, I think we just go for it. I think we have him. This was a narrow victory. We were both drawing pretty well here, but as you see, we only drew 3 lands, just a real spell density. And this should do it. Not going to play around anything whatsoever. So anything that gets blocked is going to an unblocked guy, which means he's facing a lot of damage. Yep. Boom, 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 boom. So now I sack some stuff. So I think I'll actually leave this guy and try and kill his Atog. Well, if he has anything, we just lose, so it doesn't actually matter. I can just do that and see. I mean, that's already a lethal attack, so I'm just going to pass priority. And we win the match. All right, we're 3-0. And definitely happy to be 3-0. Thank you, guys. Hey, guys, we're here on round 4. Once again, we're on the draw. And once again, we got 1 lander. But we can cast 3 of the spells. And then once we draw a mountain, we can cast 2 more of them. So I think we'll keep. And we're currently 3-0. So no matter what happens in these matches, we are going to at least break even, which is awesome. And if we win just one of the matches, we will. Okay, we're playing against Burn. Well, maybe it could be Goblins. I think we actually want to kill this guy if he is Burn, because he's on the play. If we win any of these matches, we will get some prizes here. Yeah, I think this is probably ideal. If he has like a Searing Blaze, he might play his only land this turn and keep him from having a Searing Blaze. So if I draw a land, I'm going to play out 2 1-drops. I mean, this Death Spark's not going to do anything else, so probably best to just get his Fire Slinger out of there. That Fire Slinger can do a lot of damage over the course of a game if left unchecked, so I don't see any reason to leave it unchecked. I'm going to play the Denizen. Again, if we draw a mountain, we can deal 3 instead of 2, assuming he doesn't have a land for Searing Blaze here. He's weighing his options. We did miss a land, but if we just start drawing lands, we're going to have a ton of spells that we can unleash. We're very far behind in terms of life total, but yeah, not too great here, but that's okay. And he missed a land as well, so that means he's got 4 spells. It's just going to come down to who can deploy their spells the fastest, which means we're going to need to draw a land immediately so I can play my 2 1-drops and then Bushwhacker him, because we might already be done. This is not looking too great. Yeah, he might have the win here. We're at 6. Okay. Well, nothing we can really do except play our 2 1-drops, attack for 5, and hope that one of his last cards is a Rift Bolt. So we attack for 5, he's at 13. Bushwhackers 3, 6, 9, 11, 13 exactly. So that's the way we're going to do it. And yeah, I think we're just too late, but there is a chance that we're not. Again, if one of his cards is Rift Bolt or maybe Searing Blaze without a land drop, we can steal a victory here, which would be sick. But he's probably just got, 2 Lava Spikes or whatever into Fire Blast is more likely. But the fact that he's taking any kind of pause here leads me to believe that I might have him. Now, granted, he may direct some burn towards our creatures, but winning game 1 is going to be crucial here. Okay. Yep, we're just going to go for the Bushwhacker. It's 2, 3, 6, 8, 11, 13. So he's going to have to burn one of our guys. And we're going to have to hope that that's good enough. He could have like Stagger Shock. But yeah, we have to go for the win in order to... I mean, he could have double Searing Blaze in hand. And then... I think one of his cards is Firebolt or Fire Blast. So whatever... So I think I can do 12 if he kills only one guy, because I can... I guess he would know. He would kill one of the 3 power guys. But this is a lethal attack. He's got to have something. And if I sack the guy that Stagger Shock targets, it's not going to rebound. So that might also buy us just enough time to win this. Pretty much clinging to any type of hope that exists currently. And that Death Spark kept us from being at 5 or less. I don't know if that would have mattered. Incinerate. So we're definitely sacking our guy there. So he's going to take 5, 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. And he goes to 2. But I think one of his cards is Fire Blast, so this could be very rough for us. It's going to come down to this. Did he find it? If he did, he would just go for it. I don't think he would wait. I think that's the Searing Blaze right there. It's a Rift Bolt to the Dome, and his last card's a Fire Blast, so... Oh, never mind. A Needle Drop, so he's trying to find a Fire Blast. Okay. Missed one time. Oh, he missed. Perfect. Alright, so we take game 1. Very happy to see that. I'm going to lose these Flame Slashes. I think I'm going to lose the Death Spark as well. We need our cards to deal just a higher amount of damage, a higher impact. We want Sylvok Lifestaff. That is exactly the matchup that this is for. Each activation of a Sledder or Raider will turn off one of his bolts. And I think we just want more guys. Just more bodies on the ground. Even though Sparksmith doesn't really do anything. I mean, it damages us. We're probably not using it. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I just want more threats. He's going to be killing our threats all the time. We're really lucky he didn't have Searing Blaze, and we're going to keep this hand. He did mulligan. I hope he mulligans even further. He put a card on top. Okay, so this is probably getting hit with Searing Blaze. We'll see. He is down a card. And we've got double Bushwhacker. That's probably going to be very crucial. Ooh. So I think we start with War Marshal here. I think it's the most damage we can do over the course of the next 2 turns. Not necessarily the most damage we can do on this turn. Then we're going to let this die. Mog Raider, Goblin Bushwhacker. Should be good. Yeah, this game looks good for us as well. And we won't pay. So he could have Electrickery. He didn't play anything there. That was really weird. So I'll start here. We're going to lose a couple guys to Electrickery, but still going to take quite a bit of damage. Well, I mean, not a ton, but this is 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 damage we're threatening. He's got to be sitting on Electrickery. So we're kind of playing right into that, but we only lose these 2 tokens. Okay, so he's taking 9, half of his life total. And we have another Bushwhacker, so as long as he doesn't have another Electrickery, we're going to be good. I mean, is this going to us? Yeah, he's done. All right, we're going 4-0 here. This is pretty brutal. So yeah, let's just give him the full clip here. Might as well. That's a lot of damage coming your way. Alright, so we are 4-0 with Goblins right now. Look at that. We've dropped one game only. Pretty telling results. So we'll see you for the final match. Thanks, guys. Alright, the final match. We have actually won a die roll. So let's go ahead and play first. And we'll keep this. Hopefully he's a creature deck. And he kept as well. So let's begin. Okay, he's blue-black, but we don't know what flavor. I think we want the 2/1 drops here. Soak up some edicts and what have you. If he's Delver Angler, I'll be a little bit more pleased. I'll be a little bit happier. Because then he'll fiddle around with mental notes. But he's not. He's blue-black control. So he's going to kill something here. Okay. Right there. We will have Death Spark. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad because we're kind of out of steam. We're going to need some matrons and stuff. So I'm going to use this if he casts a removal spell. He does not. So let's just go ahead and attack for 2. Not the best case scenario for us, but we're definitely on the board. So think twice. Yep. This is kind of bad because this looks like a deck that will main deck Evenkar's Justice, which is just about the best card against our deck that exists. Okay. That's also not great for us, but if we draw a Goblin Matron, I'm pretty happy. It's a cohort. So we still get in for 4. Looks like he's missing that second black source for an Evenkar's Justice, so that's at least something. I'm going to keep playing out lands again for Matron. So what happens now? We have a Sparksmith to get rid of a Mole Drifter, a Seagate Oracle. But the question remains, what happens now? And we've got the board position, but we're lacking the resources in hand. This guy's sitting on 7 cards in hand. So if he can just slow us down a bit. Okay, that's going to buy him 2 life off the Radiant Fountain. And he's just going to pass. So we only get to attack for 2 here. Death Spark's kind of rotting, but we're not really in that mode where we just want to throw it out. We want to get some value out of it. So we're going to wait till he kills something. Okay. And the Death Spark kind of counteracts the Talisman, but not really. He might even be waiting to flash back to Evenkar's Justice, which would be pretty gross. Alright. Well, this is not good. As I mentioned before, the games where we draw 5 or more lands are not typically games we're going to be winning. So we get to throw out a Death Spark here. Or not. So probably Teaching's coming, which is going to be very bad for us. Alright, so now we Death Spark him. Then we sack the Sparksmith. Looks like he might have an angler that he's interested in bringing to the forefront. Okay. Computer's spazzing out. Okay, so now I can do this. Next turn I will get the Death Spark back. Ooh, what's he going to do with that? Probably get a counterspell. Yeah, this does not seem ideal. But there's 3 games. We do get to... Yeah, so now I'm going to... The Sledder's going to go. I am going to buy the Death Spark back. And even if he counters this, I will Death Spark him, but I am going to cast it just to get some damage in. Okay, he is going to get 2 damage, or sorry, 2 life back, thanks to the Deprive. And here, he's only taking 4. And he's gaining a life. Yep. Yeah, this is looking real bad. But maybe Death Spark will help. Might be able to get there. Probably not. I don't know what his win condition is, but it's probably some combination of Evankar's Justice, Pristine Talismans. Okay, we didn't draw anything, so we'll just pass. Every turn we don't get in for damage is bad for us because of this. Yep. Ooh, that's also bad for us. It's going to gain him 12. Okay, we're not really winning this game, so let's go ahead and concede. He's going to gain a billion life and just keep flashing this back. We have no chance. So I'm going to concede early. And I think Death Spark's going to go. I think Flame Slashes are going to go. Probably keep the bolts. I think Pyroblast is going to come in. I think Matron's going to come in. I mean, maybe we want Death Spark. Sparksmith doesn't seem very useful here. Smash to Smithereens seems okay. Maybe I don't want Death Spark. That doesn't seem... On the play, we're not really looking for that. 1 Smash to Smithereens seems decent. And... I mean, Tarfire does not excite me. I think Death Spark's probably better. Sparksmith might even be better just as a threat. I think I'm going to try this. I don't know for sure if we want that, but... And this hand is kind of crap. I think I have to mulligan it, even though... Yeah, I think I have to. The Smash is a dead card if he doesn't play Talisman early. This hand's not great either, but I'm going to keep it. Maybe we can find a War Marshal. So I'm not going to really get a chance to deploy that. I think I actually bottom it. It's not a threat. We know what we're doing for the next couple turns, so maybe it was correct. Maybe on turn 4 I want that. We get a land anyway. Yeah, this is a pretty anemic draw. I don't think we're coming out of this match on top. But a 4-1 result is still pretty good. I'm actually kind of pleasantly surprised here. So I'll attack first. And we're going to pray that he does not have Hydroblast. And I'll just get Bushwhacker. If he just leaves up mana, we don't want to just throw the Bushwhacker. We have so many lands that I mean, we can play the Bushwhacker at any point. So I think we're just going to attack for now. I know it's lame, but yeah, we have too many lands. Again, this is what happens to this deck. I'm telling you, if it draws 5 or more lands, you're usually screwed. And that's not a great place to be with a deck, but you'll also notice that we swept the first 4 matches, so it's not a horrible configuration we're working with. So I'd love to draw something cool. That's pretty cool. Let's see if it resolves. If he counters this, then I'll go for the Bushwhacker. Looks like he's going to sweep our board anyway. It resolves. So I'll just attack. We also want to leave something back with haste in case he sweeps, which is highly likely. Now, these lands will only help us if we can get a chain of matrons going. That's the only benefit they have. And then also Death Spark, you know, kind of helps out with that, but okay, so I guess I'm sacking the matron. Just does the least. Denizen at least deals damage. So that Pyroblast was not looking so bad anymore, but I guess we'll start here. That also resolves. But I'm holding off on the Bushwhacker. I think he's trying to get up to flashback on his Evankar's Justice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still a turn away. Now he's potentially got Teachings for Counterspell. And now I have 2 Bushwhackers, so I'm going to try and force something through. Deprive, okay. Oh, try again. And he's got a Counterspell. So we're only getting in for 3. If that. So he left in a lot of counter magic, which is not something I typically would do. But it worked out for him in this instance because we've drawn 6 lands. So the number of spells we actually have is pretty diminished. Okay, we are going to lose the Sparksmith now. Just not very clear that he has any type of creature presence at all. I don't know what his win con is. I think it's just Evankar's Justice. He's going to be able to flash that back pretty soon. And we're really going to need to hit some matrons in order to do anything. Yep. The full set of Think Twices seems to be pretty useful in allowing him to just keep his numbers up. So now we're going to get rid of the Raider. Ooh, that's going to suck. That's probably going to end the game, but I think I have to cast this while he's tapped out. But we're just going to keep trying. I mean, Justice is going to cause him to take damage as well. So we could get some type of crazy matron thing going. The Radiant Fountains are a bit of a pain. He's just going to do it again, it looks like. He could just Chainer's Edict here. Yep. So now I can Matron, Bushwhacker, which only does 6. Good lord, he drew all of his Radiant Fountains. Not going to cast that yet. It's just going to die to Justice. Yeah, this looks like a pretty solid blue-black list against us. These Think Twices seem to be really pulling their weight. So, speaking of weight, do I wait on this War Marshal or not? Justice kills 2/3 of it. I think I have to hold back. Justice kills 2/3 of it. I can only get in for 1 damage. Yeah, I think I wait. I'm not sure how he wins. I think he's trying to build up his mana so he can Justice and leave up counters. He's got 7 cards. So do I just start Death Sparking? Is that what I do now? So maybe I send the Conscripts as a sacrificial lamb. Yeah. Is that how we want to do it? Or do we want to marshal? So he has 4, 6, 10, 11 mana. Really doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess I Conscripts first. See what he wants to do. Then I just pass. Yep. Now I just pass, and now we try and play the Death Spark game, which not really going to work, but going to give it a shot anyway. He didn't need to use that. I think he would have been better off using the Evankar's Justice. If he goes for Crypt Incursion, yeah, he will. It's going to be a real long night. Yeah, that's fine. We're still going to just play it out, even though it's going to be a nightmare. He's at 40. I don't think we're ever going to be able to do 40, but we'll at least try. Capsize? Why would he do that? He's going to lose his Capsize now. Seems like a waste. Yeah, this seems like an utter waste. Yeah, he's just going to be able to Justice us out of the game. Oh well. I mean, we might be able to get something going with Matron, but I doubt it. We did get rid of his capsize. That's good. And we're on an 8-turn clock. Or less if he decides to cast it multiple times, which looks like what he's doing. Okay, so we have a chance to matron him, which might be good. And we didn't draw anything. I mean, we drew a Pyroblast, but it's not going to do anything. Okay. Yeah, this is not looking too good for us. Yeah, we're pretty toast now. Not that we wouldn't have been otherwise. It's pretty academic here. So we're going to end up 4-1 as opposed to 5-0, but still a decent showing from this deck. Let's see. This is 7 damage, which doesn't do anything. Cool. Yeah, we'll just concede here. So I think Goblins definitely showing some promise. The most impressive thing to me was the fact that in all of the first 4 rounds, we only dropped a game. And we also pretty handily defeated Kuldotha Jeskai, which means the one prominent deck that I was most concerned about might not end up being that much of a concern. We face a lot of board sweepers. Basically every single deck, except for actually this one that beat us, had board sweepers, like Electrickery, Evankar's Justice, and then the Awaken spell that was a sorcery version of Electrickery. And we were able to fight through all of those. So I really think that means that this deck's got potential even in the current metagame. And lastly, even though we beat Kuldotha Jeskai, I think they can have stronger draws with more removal that might end up being problematic. They didn't see a single Mole Drifter, so that might also play into it as well. But we still fought through like Lone Missionary, Radiant Fountains out of that deck. So, this deck has a lot of reach and a lot of play, and it's got some staying power. So I think Goblins is worth your consideration, and I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in to this installment of Time